what's going on? It's Grant and Tyler here today for episode 7.
Episode 7, folks!
Woo! We are actually in an unknown area.
Undisclosed location.
Undisclosed location.
We have moved from, this is our third location in 7 episodes?
This is our third location. Hey, that's actually not bad. I'll definitely take it. But anyway, we are at a undisclosed location.
Top secret.
Here today
I feel like James Bond.
Yeah. Here today to try 3D.
Folks, not 1, and it's not 2, it's guess what? 3. And I just said 3 and I did 2 fingers, so I don't know what's going on.
Oh my gosh.
3D, guys, and this is from the influencer,
Christian
bodybuilder, Christian Guzman, I don't even know.
Yeah, so he's a huge social influencer. He started off making Alphalete, which is a clothing brand.
Which I'm sure almost everyone who's watching this knows what that is, or that company, that clothing company.
It's a massive company, surprisingly. Huge. And then he started doing some YouTube stuff. He's about to open another gym. He's also just about to buy like a new hangar, but pretty much this was his side project. It was 3D, and so from what I've heard, whenever it was previously Up Energy, it tasted just like a White Monster.
And that's all I want in my life.
Yeah.
White Monster, that's the best drink. That's better than water, milk, pop, soda, whatever you guys call it. That is single-handedly the best beverage on this planet Earth.
Yeah.
So if this is anything like that, I think we're going to be sitting okay.
So this one's a little bit different compared to a Monster. It has 200 milligrams, so it's just got a little bit more of a kick. It definitely has, niacin, B6, B12, kind of the normal routine for a pre-workout in itself, or even in an energy drink. So, but pretty much these started in 7-Elevens in selected markets, and then from there, it grew up, and now it's in almost all everywhere, almost. But we actually just got it down here in Springfield, so we are very, very pumped and excited.
So let me ask you this: someone in the Midwest, where can they get this?
Well, this is located at Come and Go.
Come and Go.
Yeah, but my guess is that selected Come and Goes, because since the smaller ones you probably can't go to.
Sure.
This one was off of what is it off of? It was off of Battlefield.
Off a road. It's off a road, folks.
Off a road. Yeah. So, but anyway.
Should we?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know why people do this, but I'm just going to do it like I know what's going on.
Because of that, it popped open. So be careful there.
Oh!
Oh, it spewed everywhere.
God, I mean, it is everywhere, but...
It is the blue flavor.
It smells like blueberry.
It tastes like blue.
Wow. Initial thoughts. This is your first time having it?
Yep, my first ever time having it. So
it's about time we get something that we both haven't had.
Yeah, hopefully the next episode. I'm waiting for it. It's coming in the mail. They said it's shipped. The other one I'm really, really excited about because I've heard pretty good things about it. But I won't tell anything about it.
So let's get your initial reaction. What do you think, man?
Tastes okay. Tastes like a standard, energy drink. It's honestly like blue assortment flavored, the artificial flavoring.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's okay. As long as it doesn't stain my teeth or stain my mouth, I don't care. That's fine. That's, as long as I just don't do that. But
this... I'm trying to figure out what this tastes like.
I will say their white one and their blue one are their top 2 sellers.
They have other flavors.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah. So he has multitude of flavors. There's, I believe, a purple, there's a red, there's a white, there's a blue, I think there's even a yellow. I mean, it is very, very crazy out there, but they started off with the white can. And so I wanted to do the blue can because a lot of people I have seen online actually
let's mix it up.
Drink the blue can compared to the white can.
Plus, I feel like aesthetically speaking, this looks nice. And what I really appreciate... I think I went off on...
Simplicity just right there.
Well, first off, simplicity, I love that. The aesthetics look great on the can. Like I'm in marketing, I know what I'm talking about. I like it, though. But I will say this, and I think I've said it on this channel before. I know I said it to the vlog here, but listen.
The top,
dude. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Because it's completely, blacked out. On the white Monster cans, if it's all white, that's good. No, that's the good kind.
Oh, the all white.
The all white is what you want. But if they have the silver, the metal on top, forget it. Forget about it. It doesn't hit the same. It tastes different. It tastes
completely different.
Get out of here, okay?
Yep.
I appreciate this. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel secure.
Yeah, I mean, it just brings a different twist to it. So these cost roughly around, like, depending on how you get them. If you get like a 12-pack, it's like $35, which is a little bit outrageous, but
okay.
Yeah, it's like.
Well, I'll tell you what. Everyone said, you know what? Everything is relative to what you get out of it. You could say, right? So based on this workout that we're about to do, which is also chest and triceps, so it's a fat workout. It's one of the bigger moving workouts in my opinion.
Yeah.
So depending on crash, how I'm feeling during it, maybe that 12 for 35 is worth it if it does it for you,
Honestly, I feel like it's going to be similar to like a Monster in itself. So, I mean, so far the taste does, but we'll see how it is at the end of this video and kind of feel our reactions.
We'll see what it's like. Right now, I feel like, I got to be honest, first time having it, so this is my unbiased opinion.
Yeah.
It's not that I feel bloated, but I can tell the carbonation.
Yeah.
Already,
right? It's pretty heavy of the carbonation.
The carbonation is heavy. I would almost say heavier than a Monster, but I don't mind it really.
Yeah, similar to like a bang of carbonation.
Absolutely.
That's when you're just like, oh boy.
See, there you go, folks. But as far as flavor goes, I really like this flavor.
Yeah.
Blue, like blue raz, whatever it is, I like this.
All right, so we will be drinking this as we are going to be going to our conversation, and so I feel like today, which I have been thinking about like different topics on what to talk about.
Yep. I've had a couple things, I've had a couple things run through the head, but what are you thinking about?
I was wanting to talk about patience.
Patience, like in the hospital, like patients that come in.
No, patience as in life in itself.
Absolutely.
Right. And just how important it is to have patience at some moments, and then at the same time not have patience, and honestly, in our society, we're going to go back into our society talk. It's very hard for us to see patience because, like, one of the things that brought to my attention or to talk about this topic was I was driving and going actually home, and
when was this?
I mean, like a week or two ago.
Yeah.
Right? And so I literally just pulled into my parking spot, but then like where it's at, I have to kind of go like a little bit further out to come in because since they're very sharp, right?
That's your apartment here.
Yeah, and which is also slanted on the pavement. So I was just like trying to specifically get in there, get into the spot where it's actually closer to my apartment, and someone behind me was honking. And was just like, come on. Like, you could see them, like, yelling at me. And I'm just like...
getting visually pissed off.
Yeah, it's like, I'm literally just parking.
Yeah.
This is going to take 5 seconds.
Yep.
Like, chill. Like, just take a bit. You know what I mean? And it just patience in that. And then also on top of that, patience in the weight room. That's also a big thing that, I mean, like, we have learned.
Absolutely. Like you said, patience with anything. Like the parking is a great example. I feel like a lot of people can relate to that, but like as far as the weight room goes, that's even more difficult because like you're not gonna see any difference in one workout, right? You're not gonna see any noticeable like physical difference in 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what I mean? It takes time, right?
Like the short term, I guess, quote unquote gains will be like a month or 2 months. Right?
Sure. Right? Physically speaking, I guess.
Yeah, you will actually see some definition, or you will see some tone of your tricep, or you will see, your legs a little
fat loss or whatever it is. Or even muscle gain, whatever.
Also like emotional probably too, endorphins, and everything.
Oh, sure.
Else.
I would even argue like you could be having a shitty day and then all of a sudden, guess what?
Completely change it.
After a workout, it's night and day.
Yeah, definitely.
Mentally speaking, I mean, that can change just within 30 minutes, right? But physically and aesthetically speaking, I guess you could argue that it takes a while, and everyone will be different as far as whether it's 2 weeks, a month, 6 months, whatever it is.
So let me ask you this: how are you handling I guess, the weight room patients. Like a lot of people, you know, they say, I want to do this now, I want to get this done, so on and so forth, I want to get to the next task. But whenever it comes to weightlifting, it's completely different. It is like, I mean, you literally just have to be patient for the whole thing. Because, I mean, like, people who have been lifting for 20 years even say, they're like, I'm not even, like, nowhere near where I really want to be.
Sure, and that's important because I feel like it's like a double-edged sword, right?
Yeah.
So you think, like, you have to be patient, sure, but you have to want to push yourself. You have to want to get after it.
Yeah.
You know, so you have to have the work ethic as if this workout, you're going to look different. I guess you could say tomorrow. Like, you want to see a change, right?
Definitely.
But in your head, you know that you're not going to until a month, 2 months, 3 months.
Yeah.
And it's even more difficult, like, if you're looking at yourself, because you're seeing yourself every day in the mirror, right?
Every single day.
Right? So to see yourself, you're not going to see changes like somebody else would see, right?
Yeah,
so let's
totally.
say I work out hard for a month, right? And me and you hang out today, and then we both go our separate ways for a month, and then I work out and you work out, right? I'm going to look at myself. We're going to see differences in each other, right? Mm-hmm. But if you were to ask me, hey, what has changed in a month? I'm going to say nothing. I look exactly the same, right?
Yeah.
So that's a big concept to kind of grasp, because as far as aesthetics go, lifting's a lot more than just looks, of course, and you know that just as well as I do. But if we're talking on that subject, it's really it's difficult not to have your mind go elsewhere and not become patient with that, right?
Definitely. What is the one thing in your life that you find yourself being impatient the most?
Impatient.
Yeah.
That's a really good question. Impatient.
See, for me, it's honestly just really simple technology tasks, right? I find myself super impatient. So, like, at work, I actually have, or I just actually got upgraded with a computer, or I got my RAM upgraded, right?
Yep.
And previously, I found myself very impatient with my computer. And then on top of that, apps loading, things like that. You know, even watching content. I've even found myself impatient just watching, like, content in itself.
Sure.
And so, I mean, I definitely feel like the weight room, I have it in the back of my head that I'm definitely impatient there.
Sure.
Because of, like, you know, I want to, like, I can see myself in like 5 years, and I want to get there in 2 years.
Sure.
So,
and that's good, though. I feel like that's a healthy mindset to have.
Yeah.
But you also have to understand, like you said, it takes time, right? So if you have a 5-year goal, or how you want to, quote unquote, look in, let's say, 2 years or 5 years or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Wanting to get that accomplished in half the time, or just saying, I'm going to push myself so I can beat that timeline.
Right.
I think that's good and healthy, right? But it's just not to get caught up in that and realizing, hey, I'm trying to add an inch to my arms in a month. Like, come on.
That's really tough. That's really tough, yeah. Now, half an inch, maybe.
I mean, half an inch, hey, there you go. But, like, back to what you're saying, what I find myself being impatient is, I mean, you talked about it before, right? Traffic?
Yeah.
Right? I find myself so impatient, and maybe this isn't even me. Maybe it's the pre-workout talking here, folks. But if I take pre-workout on my drive to the gym,
oh my gosh, and it's slow,
and it's not only
it feels slow.
Not only the pre-workout, but once it starts to kick in, and I'm just about to get to the gym, right? And there's nowhere to park, dude.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of you guys have experienced this. There's absolutely nowhere to park, and I'm like, oh, dude, I need to get in there right now.
Yeah.
I just become impatient, annoyed, and I know I should probably just take my pre-workout when I get to the gym, because my warm-up's going to be 15 minutes, and then I'll be fine. But I always do that, and I get worried. So, like, I live about 10 minutes away from the gym, right? So I'll take it right before I leave my house, and then I'll get to the gym. I'll do my warm-up, and right when I'm about to start my workout, I'm good to go, right? So I feel like I'm so impatient if I don't feel like the pre-workout's not going to kick in if I don't take it before I leave, or that's just something like I need to work on. So I just get super annoyed or impatient if I can't find a spot.
Totally, but I mean, you also get annoyed because since you wanted to do the things that you want to do, right? So it's like kind of give and take. Also at work, definitely, you know, I've learned to be patient with certain people at work.
Of course.
With certain people, because it's like,
Certain people require different levels of patience, right?
Exactly. And
that's with anything, especially at work, I'm sure.
And unfortunately, I feel like, society as a whole, it is dwindling to the point where, we're going to get to the point where 3-second videos aren't even enough.
Well, it's very funny you say that because I was listening to a podcast. It's called The Fighter and the Kid. It's like a comedy podcast.
Okay.
And they were talking about how comedy specials, so the forefront of comedy, or when you made it in comedy, is when you would get like a Netflix special, right?
The hour-long special.
Right, the hour-long special, right? Yeah. And they looked at it.
Take that 5 years ago when it was actually Comedy Central, right?
Sure.
That's
right? And then it moved into Netflix, and now it's moving away from that, even just to YouTube. It was really interesting because they were talking about hey, if you're on Netflix, then you've made it, right? But then they looked at the data and they were like, hey, not everyone's sitting down and listening to some random person for an hour. Right. Unless they're already fans of this comedian, they're not going to sit down and listen to a special for an hour.
100%.
Right? And so now Netflix has started doing 30-minute specials, right? So I feel like they're aware of it. And then even they had a guest on that podcast, and he was talking about, I even broken down my specials on Netflix or wherever else. That pre-workout's coming back up. This 3D's coming up. I'm carbonated, but they were talking about, he's broken it down even to 15-minute segments on YouTube, right? Or even he'll take a 5-minute clip. That's mine. You're good.
Oh, okay.
He'll take a 5-minute clip, and he's like, people just don't have that attention span anymore, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So even as a society thing, patience is just going out the window.
And it's pretty nuts.
Do you find yourself doing that?
Yeah. Like for instance, I'll look at a video of a bodybuilder, or I'll look at a video of somebody doing something spectacular on social, and then I'll just kind of be like, okay, well, let me get to the end of it because I need to see what else is happening. You know what I mean? It's like you're impatient because of the fact that build-up is just, it's either so boring to you, it doesn't
which is crazy.
Yeah.
Which is so crazy to think about. Or
the fact that you're just so used to consuming so much content so quickly that it becomes closer to the point where you're like, okay, I just want the beginning and end. That's all I want. I don't care about the middle.
Yeah, and or you'll see a title of a video.
Oh man.
You'll see a title of a video. It'll be did I bench 405, right? But it's a 15-minute video on YouTube. It's a vlog, right?
Yeah.
You will literally click on the video, and you'll hold down your thumb and drag until you see the weight room at minute 13. Unpause it. You'll see if he gets it, and then you'll be like, oh, he got it. Great. Next video.
Yeah, exactly. So,
right?
Yeah. So what's really cool is that because since we're in that space, we can actually see where people drop off at certain places and where people actually
the watch time,
the watch time, the average view duration, the retention rate. It's very, very fascinating.
Which is something that I know that I need to spend more time learning the algorithm,
I can
right. And I know that you know that. It's just it's overwhelming to me because I've never been, and this is, I'm not even gonna say it. That's an excuse. That's absolutely an excuse I was about to say. So
you've never really been interested in it, or
no, just see, I'm biting my tongue. I don't even want to say it, but I'll say it for the sake of argument.
Yeah.
I've never been into technology at all. I've never been technologically inclined to. That just doesn't intrigue me, right?
Yeah.
Or I guess you could call it the business side of things, right? Or the analytics of YouTube and stuff like this. And that, I know that's an excuse. I know that it is. I know I need to spend time there.
Yeah.
And that's what I need to work on, right?
Yeah.
But I have no joy in learning about that or doing that, and I should, and I need to, right?
So that actually reminded me, whenever, for my job, I had to look at specific how to function live stream, right? In which I actually had no joy into doing it, but what I did was that I connected related things that I like and just bring them together. So.
Sure.
A lot of people made fun of me whenever I first started doing that for my job. Do you know who Derek White is?
What? Oh, the
first form legless guy, right?
I was gonna say military guy.
Yeah.
Right?
So he had a thing called Tub Time, which is a Facebook Live, in which the company I worked for, they were wanting to look into Facebook Live, and so I showed them this, and they made fun of me for it. But I'm like, it's the only way how I can relate towards this and like show you guys. And so live stream, like, that was like leaps and bounds different for me, and like I mean I was just forced to do that. But then my computer also crashed one point, and so I had to look at getting a new computer. And like, I mean, I don't know, I guess that's my favorite thing, is just to explore the things that are almost even as a necessity for me.
Well, sure, and that's the thing, like, that's why I was saying it's like it's an excuse for me to not do that, because that's what's going to get me to my end goal. And like, right? And so like you kind of mentioned this earlier, like I kind of want to talk about this real quick. Like you talked about like something that you didn't enjoy, but you had to relate it to things that you knew, right? And you have to do these things in order to get to the end point of where you actually want to. So like, where do you think that balance is between like doing something where you don't have any passion or any love for it, but you know ultimately that if you do this and you grind it out for a week, a month, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, if you do that, you know in 20 years or whatever it is that you're going to be where you want to be. Do you think that's time well spent, or do you think that during those 20 years that you've been grinding doing something that you don't like, or a job, let's say, that you don't like, do you think that you should put more time into doing something you like, but ultimately not getting your end goal? You know what I mean? How do you balance that?
So that's actually a really good point. So for me personally, I do really enjoy my job, but there are a lot of side effects or a lot of different things that I do not like in it.
Sure.
Right? I like the fact that I'm in social media. Right? I like the fact that I'm pushing myself and engaging and doing all this other stuff and learning different analytics and attributions and getting into the point where like I'm having conversations with Facebook about app conversion data, which is pretty substantially cool.
I have no idea what that is, but
it's awesome. It's awesome. But anyway, I love doing the technical side of it. The problem I have is just internal. Just really internal. So I mean, like, I kind of outweigh the good and bad. I also use the fact that I might be using this later down the road for my own gain, right? I mean, like, honestly, I've thought about making an app. I thought about, doing dynamic product ads on Facebook. I thought about doing a lot of other things. And so, I mean, that's kind of that's kind of like my drive. That's kind of like my push, is the fact that I want to do this not only for the company I work for, but for myself and like later on.
Sure. Okay.
So, yeah.
That's really interesting. Yeah. I think you kind of touched on it. I think that's important. Like, to find the balance, right? Yeah. But also to see in like 5, 10, 20 years, whatever it is, how what you're doing now is going to benefit you long term, right? Yeah. Just to get put in a position where you're like, okay, I'm not necessarily wasting my time, you could say, during, first off, being young.
I mean, that's also a huge 20s, thing. Yeah, right? We're not wasting our time because of the fact that we're
figuring it out. What we like, right?
Exactly.
And you'll never know until you try it, right?
Exactly.
Who knows? Like I work at this undisclosed location that we're at, right? I would have never known if I would have liked to even get involved in fitness if I never even went to the gym or got involved with other people, like-minded individuals, right? Totally. So you never know. And then you try other things like maybe serving or being a waiter, right? You'll never know unless you try it, right?
Yeah.
So
totally.
That's with anything, I feel like, though.
Yeah. Definitely.
Where you at, man? I finished. I polished it off.
I finished as well, and then I'm starting to actually sweat a little bit. I think it's because of this room. We don't really have much circulation.
We don't got much circulation here. But it's the grind in here, folks.
Also, with the 200 milligrams, I feel like that's a good amount for us to kind of like get
That is going. A good amount. I was talking to one of my buddies, actually, and he actually makes his own pre-workout.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I think it'd be really neat if we tried that. And he was telling me he's in the PT department, like the doctoral program here at Missouri State. And it's really fascinating.
Here at the undisclosed location?
At the undisclosed location. Yeah, but he was telling me about that, and it was really interesting, like all the science behind it and like the ratios and stuff like that. So I think that'd be kind of neat if we tried that too. That'd be kind of interesting.
I mean, yeah, we can definitely try that out,
folks. The sky is the limit, and we talked that last time, folks. We're gonna get episode 20, 25, 30, 100. I mean,
we're gonna see how far we can go.
I mean, there's no end to it, boys.
So today is chest and triceps. We're gonna hit it hard. I'm thinking of the 5x15 again.
Sure.
You want to do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Go for volume. Go for nonstop.
Volume.
And,
yeah, we'll do that.
And we'll definitely have a post show coming up.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, thanks, guys.
Thanks for checking in.